All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome, everyone, to the home care conference call strategy session for the evening. My name is Alan Cheney, and got a few things I want to cover real quick, get out the way. We got the Florida Home Care Business Boot Camp on Saturday, August 25th at 10 a.m. And it's going to run to about 3 p.m., 4 p.m. Then we're going to do like a meet and greet at a local lounge where we can kind of spend some time with the attendees, some more time with the attendees, and just kind of get to know each other a little more on a personal level, network and stuff like that. We also have the Residential Assisted Living Boot Camp and Facility Tour coming up on Saturday, September 8th from 10 p.m. to 6 p.m. So we're going to have a boot camp conference type seminar, and then for part of it, and then the rest of the day we're going to spend visiting a couple facilities that we're working with. So a couple clients that I have who have facilities in the area close to the hotel where we'll be hosting the event. So it's going to be a great event. I have a co-host and a partner who's going to give up a lot of good information about, how she's got started. She's been in the industry for over 20 years, nurse practitioner actually. Well, she's in school to be a nurse practitioner. She'll be finishing up in January, so she's pretty much a nurse practitioner, very, very informed and educated as far as when it comes to the assisted living business. She actually does the assisted living training of managers, so she actually does the course as well. So she's very informative, way much more. I'm learning my stuff from her, so I just wanted to make sure you guys had access to her and introduce you guys to her, and just kind of continue to do what I do, just trying to provide the most information that I can to the people that support and follow me. So I'm looking forward to a great event. It's filling up pretty quickly, so if you guys are interested in it, you definitely want to go to my Facebook page, go ahead and register, get your ticket. And obviously everything we do, events are free, so you can just come on in, get some great information, and hopefully take it and use it. With that being said, that's pretty much it outside of some of the stuff I wanted to cover today. And the main thing I want to kind of give you guys like a quick startup, some steps that you need to be, that I think everyone, who's been dealing with me or I've been talking to or who's been getting on these conference calls, you should already have like some of these things in place. And I'm going to go ahead and get started. The first thing I feel like everyone should already have in place is an Indeed account, Indeed.com, where you're actually have an ad out there, and you can do a free ad, start out with a free ad, especially if you don't have any clients. Once you have a client, so quick side note, for Indeed, I run free job ads all day, every day. We never turn them off because we want to constantly get caregivers coming in, the database, to build a database, constantly getting them in. That doesn't mean we're going to hire them. We're just getting them in. And then, from there, we'll weed through the good ones and get rid of the ones that we're not excited about. But that's the free side. On the pay side, so like if I have a client in a specific location, you can do a pay ad and target a specific city with specific details. So you'll just get caregivers who are interested in those specifics. Because sometimes, you have this big database of all the caregivers and you still can't fill the shift. So sometimes we have to do targeted ads, and we pay for them like $10, $15 a day, even $20 a day if the case is, if we have a hard time filling it. So Indeed gives you both of those options. Everyone should have a free Indeed account set up and running ads constantly. Another thing, I feel like everyone on these calls, and I mean, even if you don't have nothing going on with your business, you still need to do this next step is is create a spreadsheet that consists of organizational name, then address, contact name, number, general notes, and a follow-up action. These are different columns. This should be in that spreadsheet. and I say it all the time, and I'm going to keep on saying it. It's meaningful relationship development. And what should go in this spreadsheet is the top referral sources: discharge planners, home health agencies, hospices, skilled nursing facilities, assisted living facilities, adult daycare centers, the different departments of aging, case managers, rehabilitation facilities, and rehabilitation hospitals. Call, your county, the county you're in, Google search all of these different organizations, agencies, people in your market, in your county, and then do the surrounding 2 or 3 counties that you feel is a great market for you as well. You should have no less than 200 contacts in that spreadsheet. Again, the spreadsheet should consist of, it's columns, like an Excel spreadsheet. 1 should be the name of the organization. 2 should be the address or the contact name. 3 should be the contact name or the address. 4, the phone number. 5, something just like a little general notes. And then like 6 is the most important one, is the follow-up action. The follow-up action is basically whatever happens after you contact that, that particular organization or that particular person. Do you have to send? Do they want some information via mail? Do you need to send an email? Do you need to do a follow-up call? Do you need to call someone else? That goes into that 6th column. So take some time, build this spreadsheet. Take action on making the phone calls on this spreadsheet. Once you get this, so if you don't have a company set up yet, you still try going through the licensing process or still just trying to figure things out, that's cool. Start building the spreadsheet anyway. If you do have a company and you have everything squared away, licensed and everything is in place, you should be making no less than 10, 15, I say 20 calls, 20, 25, 20, 30 calls a day to each one of these organizations. And once you make contact with them, it's just a series of different strategies you can use to constantly stay in their face. You can send emails, you can send letters, stuff like that. You can do visits. So this is something that it should never end. This is something that you should be doing every week, all the time, growing your list, getting, developing relationships with the people on your list. That's it. You could use the Google, if you don't have Excel, you could use Google Docs, and they'll give you a free thing, a free spreadsheet, and you can share it and all that good stuff. So besides that, besides your meaningful relationship development, there is a signs, and I always talk about signs again. So get some signs, put them out there. Start, if a county's crazy and they're going, trip on you, signs, put the signs out there on Friday, pick them up on Sunday. We talk about them all the time, so it's not a big deal. I'm not going to go too deep into that. But the caregiver recruitment and the meaningful relationship development and the lead generation, that's very important. You should have a Facebook page up by now, a LinkedIn business page up by now, a YouTube channel. All your social sites you need Twitter, all that stuff. You need all this stuff for your company. And then when it comes to other ways to generate leads, there's Facebook ads. This is very important. And there's Google ads. And I feel like everyone should have an AdWords account. When I say it's called AdWords, Google AdWords. And they give you a free account. You just set it up. And then you have to take time to learn how to use this stuff. You have to take time to learn how to run ads on the internet, because that's just where it's at. You're not going to find you're not going to be able to push your business the way that the internet can push your business. You're not going to be able to get yourself in front of these many people without using these tools that we have access to now. And you have to take the time out to learn them. You can't pay your way into it, because most of us don't have the money. You know, you can't just find someone to do this for you, find someone to do that for you, find someone to pay somebody to do it. You have to learn it yourself in the beginning because the funds are so the money, every dollar is vital to your company, and you got to be very, very careful of how you spend every coin. So, I mean, if you could sit and watch a 50-minute episode of something on Netflix, you can watch a 50-minute video on how to run a Facebook ad, or how to set up an AdWords account, or how to run a ad on Facebook, or how to create a video ad on YouTube. These are things, these are skills that you're going to need going forward. So definitely, I need everyone to be focused on building, you know, their internet presence, their web presence, and getting versed with this stuff. SEO, search engine optimization. Once you have a website, there are certain things that you need to be doing to your website. A website is a living and breathing and growing organism. It's not something that you just put up like a poster on a wall and it's just that. No, once you get it up and running, there you have to constantly be figuring out ways to drive traffic to it. Because if nobody knows about it, it's millions and billions of websites on the internet that people just never visit because they're not doing any work to it. They're not doing any optimization. Search engine optimization means that you're not doing anything to optimize it to where as though it comes up first or earlier in the search in your area. And it's not as difficult and as complicated as you think. It's not that you have to fight every home care service or assisted living company in the whole industry. No, you just need to get in front of the top 5 or the top 10 in your marketplace, and that's not as hard as you think it is. You just need to learn these strategies, learn these SEO strategies, and then once you develop them and understand them for yourself, you can then begin to outsource this stuff. You know, you start with somebody online, like a freelancer, or a virtual assistant, something like that. They have some very skilled people on like freelancer.com, fiverr.com, Odesk, stuff like that, who understand how to do these things. But before you go paying somebody and, you know, having somebody else do something that you want to understand what they're doing. So for one, you know that you're getting your money's worth, and you know what to expect, and you know what not to expect, and you can continue to grow it like that. So those are some of the things that I feel like everyone should be doing. Facebook ads, you know, I think they give you a minimum of $5 a day. I think it's the lowest you can spend. I mean, what's that? That's $5 a day. Like you're going to spend it anyway on coffee, on something random. So I would suggest, at least just to get an understanding for the platform, the Facebook ads. So you got a Facebook page, but do you know anything about the other side? They give you, once you create a business, you got an ads page where you get this whole back office of like this ad. You know, you get this whole ad, you know, dashboard where we could do all these different things as far as running ads on Facebook. And Facebook right now, the ads are inexpensive. The traffic that you can drive for $5-10 a day is unheard of. So, you know, you can drive 15, you know, you can 1,500, 2,000 people to your website off $10 a day. Like that's impossible to do in any other realm of advertisement and marketing. You just can't do it nowhere else. And Facebook is giving us this platform, and it's not going to stay cheap. Like it's going to evolve, and eventually the prices. I mean, they're going up. They're, you know, what you used to get for $5, you're not going to get that anymore. It's going to cost you $10, and then it's going to cost you $20. It's going to cost you $40. So now is the time. While the cost of these ads are cheap, you can grow your fan base. You can grow your following. You can put your company in front of more people's faces who need your services. And it's as simple as that. But it's going to take time for you to, you know, delve into these platforms, really understand them, and create a business, you know, and build your business off of these things. So We looked at, I get the benchmarks, the studies for a year. Majority of new leads are coming from the internet. So we can't say, okay, I'm gonna send letters, I'm gonna do direct mail, I'm gonna do postcards, I'm gonna do, you know, newsletters, I'm gonna do email. We're not gonna go where the leads aren't. We're gonna take the studies, listen to what the best and the brightest are saying in the industry, and we're gonna believe that, if we're gonna put some effort and energy into it. We're not going to try to reinvent the wheel or do nothing different. We're going to say, okay, if this is working, this part of my business should be doing what the best and the brightest are doing and saying it's working. And that's why these benchmark studies are out. That's what the data is for. And you can't argue with numbers. So if the top home care services in the country are saying that they're getting the majority of their clients are coming from the internet, guess what? Now you need to become an internet, you need to become an expert on internet marketing or internet advertisement. You have to, or someone in your business have to, partner, an employee. Somebody has to really get serious about, what's working in the market. And that's just something I want to make sure I get across to everyone, because, like, the day-to-day stuff is pretty simple, once you got your systems, but it's like to constantly grow and to develop and to stay relevant, you have to evolve and you have to learn new things. You have to invest that time into, like I said, optimizing your website, learning these different platforms. LinkedIn has a lot of great tools as well. A lot of it is free. I'm getting a lot of leads from LinkedIn for people who, delegate nurses who we're looking to work with for different assisted living facilities that we're opening. So I'm meeting a lot of them. I'm meeting a lot of people who, are in these different places, these discharge planners, people who just work at these different agencies. We're poaching caregivers from different agencies. You can go on their different websites and see different companies and see who's working for different agencies. And, you can get caregivers right off LinkedIn. You send them an email, hey, look, we got some shifts available. We'd like to interview you. Come on over. You have to learn these platforms. And I think the two most important things right now for any new business is meaningful relationship development and, really understanding the internet as far as marketing your business online. And obviously recruitment. And these three things you could basically put on autopilot. You can, just create a schedule okay, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we're going to focus on meaningful relationship development. That means we're going to be doing 20 to 50 calls, 50 emails going out, 20 letters going out, 50 in-mails. That's what LinkedIn calls messages, in-mails on LinkedIn to different people, discharge planners, stuff like that. And, constantly following up with even if, after you went through your whole list, you made all the calls to everybody on your list. Now, that doesn't mean you're done. That means you just did the first round. And you got to do follow-ups. If you want to follow up with a call, an email, a letter, whatever, or a visit, whatever, you have to do this stuff. And then Tuesday, Thursday, you focus on, okay, we're not going to necessarily, you may not necessarily have anything that you have to do, but you can learn. You can say, okay, I'm going to set aside, I'm going to do 4 hours of optimizing my website. I'm going to sit in front of the computer for a specific amount of time working on my website. What are the best things to do on my website? How do I optimize my website so it's going to come up earlier in Google when people search home care your city, or elder care your city, or affordable care, home care, senior care. These are all terms that people search when they're looking for services. That's something you have to do. Recruitment. Indeed.com. You need to have your Indeed up. You need to have your Indeed account going at all times. You create a couple free ads in a couple different cities in your area, and you just let them run. And monthly, you do you do group interviews. You do one big group interview every month. Why you want to do a group interview? Because you don't want to set up single interviews with single people. because this is just the chances of you setting aside those hours or that time for that one person and them not showing up can just kind of like just drag your, it's a waste of time, and it'll mess up your whole day if you set aside the time, don't put nothing else on the calendar, and then they don't show. So what we prefer you do, and what we've been doing for years, is group interviews. You just get, Indeed is going to send you quite a few. I mean, it's going to send you a lot of people. So what you're going to do is you're going to take those interviews, those applicants that are coming through the Indeed account, set a date, and then send out, once they contact you and they show interest in the position, just send them. You just write up the email one time, and then you can save it in Indeed, so you don't have to write it every time. It's a template. You just create the templates in Indeed, and then as soon as they reply, you could push message, and then you push template, and then it just send that message to everyone who comes to the Indeed ad, and who shows interest, who applies. And then instead of having an interview with one person, you're going to have an interview with 10, 15, 20 people, hopefully. You may invite 50 people, 10, 15 are going to show up. So, and that's just how it is. Nothing you could do about it. But you'd rather, 10, 15 solid people show up than 30, 40 losers. So I don't really trip, because the people who show up and who said they were going to come and then who actually do come end up being the people who said they're going to go to work and actually do go to work, versus the people who, if you can't make it to an interview like you said you would, and they calling and saying, oh yeah, I can't make it to the interview, something came up at last minute, like, okay, yeah, right. You don't stand a chance in the work environment. So I'm glad to weed them out early like that. So but I'd rather do it in a group opposed to just one. So, and these things that you need to be doing weekly. And then not only that, you could be studying like not only the how to do your website and build relationships and learn how to do Facebook ads. Like, how do I become a better leader? How do I become a better boss? How do I become a better interviewer? Like, there's strategy to all this stuff for you could better understand like how to, like, a lot of it is going to come from just, you're going to learn by doing, but there are great pieces of literature out there on leadership, management, interview strategies and stuff like that, tactics. So don't hesitate to be reading and listening to books every day. See, look, entrepreneurship is like, it's not a norm. You can't part-time be in this. You can't just like casually do this. Like, you can't casually start a business. It's a hobby, and you're gonna pay for it. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna pay you. You're gonna pay it. But when you get serious about it and you say, okay, I'm gonna block out 2, 4, 6 hours each day, no matter what. If that means I have to go to bed a little later, wake up a little earlier, use my lunch breaks. If you have a full-time job, cut out some of my TV time or social time, social life. That's just what it takes, and you have to be willing to do it, and you have to be willing to make some adjustments. I hope everybody by now has an audible.com account, and they're listening to books. We're doing I don't feel like I'm getting too off track, but we just started a new book club called the Billionaire Book Club, where we're going to essentially read a book a month by a billionaire. And why do I want to, why do I feel like it's important to read? I mean, it should be obvious, but it just seems like, obvious that's all the time ain't the case. Like, you study people who are doing extremely well, who have made extreme progress in the direction that you're going in. And I mean, like, which one of us or on this phone line are even like thinking or like strategizing on like how to, become a billionaire? But the fact that you're taking in that information is going to make you think different. It's going to adjust your mindset. It's going to make you look at the world different. Hold on one second. it's going to make it's going to make you look at the world different. If you're looking at like a Richard Branson, I know you guys heard of Virgin Airlines, Virgin Mobile, Virgin. He got a record label, all that. Virgin, Richard Branson. That's the book we're reading right now, and I already read it, so it make it kind of easy for me. But I'm gonna, take you guys through these 15 books by billionaires. And the event is on the Alan Chaney Business Coaching Facebook page. If you guys are interested in joining the book club, we're going to do a special conference call every month, and then we're going to do a live stream so we can talk about the book, take notes, and just kind of bounce around these ideas onward. It's another book by Howard Schwartz, the dude. I think that's the dude who did Starbucks. So like, these are businesses that were created in our generation by people who are walking this earth at the time that we are right now, and we need to, as entrepreneurs and business owners, and we need to study these people. It's like there's no getting around it. If I was going to play basketball, I'd be studying LeBron, or I'd be studying Kobe, I'd be studying Jordan. If you want to be great, you got to put the time in learning from the best and the brightest. And it's just like, you say, oh, well, they're not doing home care, but that's the furthest from important, because at the end of the day, like, business is business, and there's universal principles in place that are always going to help you. I've learned so much from like Elon Musk. I studied Elon Musk. I read his books, and I read almost every article about him, because he's just so disciplined and focused, and he's been like that for years. Like, his whole life is based around accomplishing these huge, great, humongous goals, and that's what you have to put in front of you. You can't say you want to be a millionaire, because that's like, for real, it's too easy. It's like, if you seriously want to be a millionaire in America, it's not that hard. So you have to make a bigger goal. You have to strive for bigger and better and greater things. If it's a money goal you want to put in front of yourself, say 10 million, say 15, 20 million, something like that. Don't if it's a money thing, don't put yourself million. It's too easy, and it's not a lot of money. So, and most people can't survive off of it. They think they can, but once you start, once you get taxes, you move to a better community. You get a decent car, the car payment and schools. If you put your kids in private schools, like, that's not a lot of money. So you really want to raise your vision and raise your expectations for yourself. And when you do that, you strive. You work harder, because it's a bigger goal, but it has to be something, obviously, that you're excited about, and something that you really want, and something you really believe in. But you can rewire your mind to look at things different, become, more of a visionary, and grow your perception and your expectations for yourself. And the best thing I feel like to do is just to study and read people who've done it before, people who come from a lesser background. Most of these billionaires, they like to pretend like they did it all on their own, but that's not the case. Bill Gates' dad was a millionaire. Like Trump, we already know his dad gave him $30 million to get started. So it's not always like what it seems, but there's still a lot of great information. It still takes a lot to run a multi-million-dollar or multi-billion-dollar company, and there's a lot that you can learn from these people. And not only people like that, you could, books, study great people in general, like presidents, like Obama, great book. It's a lot of women out there who've done great things, who dealt with different challenges that you need to read, read some of their literature and stuff like that. But that's just some of the things I wanted to talk about. Let me see here. There was a couple other things that I wanted to kind of cover quickly, because I know we already at 7:37. I wanted to kind of talk about the importance of like managing your health and like the business of your life. I heard this crazy thing, Rick Ross. I'm not even a Rick Ross fan. Not that that's important, but the rapper, he has said something in an interview, and he was like, man, a lot of these dudes is out here trying to run these businesses, when they need to focus on managing the business of their life. And that just hit me like, wow, because your life will be in shambles and you're trying to run a business. Like, you have to first get control of your life. And what he didn't go into detail, but it just, it just registered for me, because it was like, okay, damn, there has been times when I neglected my health, you know what I mean, because of my business and just because of my lifestyle. My consumption of food, alcohol, TV, music, and it just got out of control, and because you just kind of live in this fast the fast entrepreneur lifestyle, and you're consuming more. You're not taking care of your health. You're not exercising like you should. You're not meditating and praying and taking those quiet, peaceful walks. You're not unplugging from the internet. You're not putting that cell phone down. You're not detaching from email. You have to respond to every email, every text, every red notification. You have to do that. And when you're that consumed by, the outside world, you can easily lose control, of the business of your life. And definitely health, money management, budget, and relationships, exercise, and just like food consumption. Like, you definitely need to take time to look at these things. Like, okay, what's my health situation like? What am I caught up on all my checkups? Am I fitness? Am I incorporating fitness into my day? You can incorporate fitness into your day. Everybody has time to exercise. There's no excuse. You could work out for 10, 15 minutes as soon as you get out of bed. Get up a little bit earlier, get out of bed, do some running in place, do some push-ups, some squats, some jumping jacks. There's no excuse. So health, you got to do like that health checkup, that personal checkup. Like, am I exercising? Am I drinking enough water? Am I eating enough vegetables? Am I drinking too much? Like me, when I'm doing real, like, it's crazy, because like the better I do, like the worse my life strays. Like, if the more, when business is booming, I'm consuming more alcohol, I'm eating out more, I'm not exercising as much. My health starts to deteriorate, when it's like, wow, your business is doing good, but you're not managing the business of your life. So and another thing, relationships, you have to make time, for people who matter, or things will again eventually fall apart. And I've experienced that as well. So just creating a great environment of happiness, productivity, and success. One thing I've been dealing with, over the last month or so, is just like making sure that I'm doing the things that make me the most happiest and make me the most proud. Every day. Like, do I feel like I'm happy today? And have I worked hard enough to make myself proud? Am I proud of the effort that I put in today? And if I don't feel so happy about it, I'll do something to make myself happy. I'll listen to a song. I'll go get on a boat. I like to sail. I'll go, go sailing. I like parks. I like, simple things like, just not like, amusement parks or anything like that, but like, state parks. I just go like where there's a nice forestry area or water. I love the water. I live by the water. Go, just look at the water, go sit by the water. So what I'm doing is I find ways to make sure that, okay, if I'm if I'm not in a great space mentally, I'm not happy, I'll go, incorporate some quick happiness, do like a quick happiness infusion. If I don't feel like I really did it the way I'm supposed to do, I'm gonna dig in. On a productivity tip, I'll say, okay, like, man, you didn't do this, and that. Like, I got goals every day. And if I don't feel like I'm, reached them or did everything I could to reach those goals, I'm gonna lock back in. And sometimes I might get up in the middle of the night like, man, you didn't really do it the way you're supposed to do it, or you didn't go as hard as you could today. So what I'll do is I might throw on a podcast and just start listening to like a business podcast or a marketing podcast, just so I can feel like, okay, this is going to be at least I'm going to finish off strong. I'm going to do something, whether it's inspirational, motivational, educational, I'm going to do something to bring it all together. to make sure my day is, I feel complete about my day. And then that just builds your confidence for the next day. You feel good about yourself, because the worst thing you could do is go to bed feeling bad about yourself, because then it's just like a domino effect. You're going to wake up, you're going to feel bad about yourself, and then it just keep going on and on and on. And that's what the way you consume. Another thing, with alcohol, if I drink way too much, it's not that, I'm going to have the hangover, but it's like a mental hangover. Now I feel bad about myself. I'm beating myself up because, like, damn, nigga, you ain't had no business drinking like that last night. So I wake up in the morning, I feel bad about it. So then I beat myself up, and then now we into 10, 11, 12 o'clock in the day, and I still haven't pulled myself back into, like, focus where I could really engage my businesses. And that's important. The three things that I feel like that everyone should be doing when they first wake up is way before you touch your phone, is pray, meditate, and exercise. And then you can start even thinking about business, or the actual things you have to do to sustain your life and do your stuff, business, work, whatever. But pray, meditate, and some fitness, put some fitness in, run, walk, exercise, whatever it is, just move. Before I, open up the lines for question and answer, Q&A, I'm gonna tell you guys this great meditation. It's called the six phase meditation by Vishen Lakhiani. And I do this. This is the meditation I do. It's on YouTube. You just Google the 6 phase meditation. It's gonna come right up. And it's connection, where he walks you through, like, connecting to the environment around you, like kind of reminding yourself that it's just not you. Everybody in the house is connected to you. Everybody in your community is connected to you. The plants, the animals, everything. It sounds weird, but everything is connected. We all affect everybody else. You're just not alone. Your actions affect the environment, the community, the people around you. And, he connects you with that. The next thing is gratitude. He walks you through a process of, gratefulness and appreciation, where you start to, he kind of guides you through, like, okay, 2 or 3 things that you can appreciate that happened over the last 24 hours or the last, 3 days, whether it was a cup of coffee, a visit with a friend, just something. And what you do is you bring these things into thought. And when we do these things, when we bring these type of things into thought, and you are what you eat. You are what a man is, what he thinks about the most. So if you're showing gratitude and gratefulness and appreciation for certain things, they're going to keep happening. The things that you're happy about are going to keep happening because you're appreciating them. You're celebrating them. Just like negativity, if you keep celebrating that, you keep engaging negative thoughts, that negativity going to keep coming back. Then he goes into forgiveness, vision, daily intentions, and then blessing, when he kind of deals with the higher powers and stuff. So 6 phase meditation: connection, gratitude, forgiveness, vision, daily intention, blessing. Vishen Lakhiani, you can find him on the internet, 6 phase meditation. So I'm going to end there. It's 7:48. I know it wasn't your typical, conference call where it's just business technique, strategy, and all that. I just, these are some of the things that I'm dealing with personally. So I just want to share as much as I can to help you guys maybe identify and see some of the things that you could probably relate to with me, and, take it into your own life. And hopefully you could do better in business as well. So, and not just business in life too, because it's, it's all tied together. If you have a good business, and not such a great life, you're not really happy. So I'm going to open it up here for Q&A, and it doesn't have to be anything about, all that healthy, esoteric stuff. Business questions and everything, assisted living, home care. So here we go right here. I'm going to open it up now. So you can go ahead if you have a question.
I have a question.
Any questions?
Yes.
Man, I can't hear. Wow.
Yes, I have a question.
Yeah, I can't hear you. Hold on, let me I'm gonna have to call in from my phone because I'm not hearing you on the computer. 1 second, I'm not hearing anything. Long as I'm glad at least you guys can hear me. I didn't say talk for 45 minutes. Nobody went to listen. 515 604 9929.
Welcome. This service is provided by freeconferencecall.com. Please enter your access code followed by the pound or hash sign. The recording has started. Muted.
Okay. Go ahead if you guys have a question.
I got a question.
Oh, wow.
Hello. 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 He got an echo on his end.
It's acting crazy. I tried to call it from my phone, but it's not letting me. It's not working. It's doing that crazy feedback, and now when I'm just on the computer, I can't hear anyone. So you guys say something now.
Can you hear us?
Oh, now I can. Good. Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect. So go ahead.
Yeah, I've got a question. Actually, a couple of questions.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
So, okay, the question was trying to understand and see if you can sort of like explain what kind of list of documents are needed to like give a client. Like when we get a client, what are the list of documents that need to be given to the client to like sign and to fill out so that you have your I don't know.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's a good question, but I'm not going to sit here and run down a list of documents for you. What I could do is I could just send you an email. Shoot me your email. Just shoot me an email to any one of the emails you receive from me, and I'll just respond back with the actual document. I'll just send you the document.
Okay. And
I have
sorry,
a
question I had.
Okay, go ahead.
Regarding contractors. So if you're hiring not employees of your company, you're hiring contractors. Do you have to pay them a higher amount of money because it's 1099, or
no?
You just pay them the same wages that a W-2?
Yeah, the services are what they are, and the value of the services are what they are. Just because they're a contractor or employee, they're still doing the same thing. You're just paying them. You're just paying them up front. You're not taking out their taxes. They have to pay their taxes, so they're usually more excited about that anyway. That they're getting all their money. And instead of, you taking out the taxes, they're independent contractors at that point. But you definitely want to make sure that they understand that they're independent contractors and they need to carry some type of insurance. We do help them get the actual insurance. It's very inexpensive, but they do need to be carrying some type of insurance for themselves because they are independent contractors.
Okay, so does that mean that you pay them more? Because
not at all.
Yeah.
It's not like they have to pay the insurance is very inexpensive, so it's not like it's coming out of every paycheck. It's just something that they need to carry as an independent contractor to work for you or any other company as an independent contractor. They have to have that insurance.
Okay, so you don't really need to.
They have to pay more hourly because of this. We don't pay them more hourly because of the insurance. We just make sure that they have access. They have access to that insurance.
Okay.
Yeah. Because they're going to need it. If they ever get into a situation, they need to be covered because they're operating as a business owner. An independent contractor is essentially a business owner.
Okay. Another question was regarding child care services. So within a home care business, is it possible to have a child care services as part of it, like a nanny/babysitting service?
Absolutely. Even kids with different ailments, you can definitely. I mean, if you're prepared to, have the trained staff. And most caregivers are trained, believe it or not, to work with children.
Okay.
So you just have to make sure you have the trained staff, and if that's something you're going to go after, you have to, incorporate it into your marketing. But yeah, it's the same thing. And then obviously you want to make sure that you're sticking to whatever your state regulations are, because it's definitely going to be if you're doing like child care, there might be a difference in like the licensing.
Okay.
Yeah. But each state differs.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, no problem. Are there any more questions out there?
Yes, I have a question.
Yes, I have a question.
What type of letter would you say or email that we need to send out to the discharge planning and other companies that you said?
Yeah, so there's multiple different letters you can send out. You can send out just some basic information about your company, just introducing yourself, your company, your business, the things that you're going to offer, what makes you different and stand out. There's no actual template that has to go out. It's just you're doing what you can to, make contact with them. But definitely you want to make sure that you're introducing yourself, your company, try to put some stuff, tell a little bit about who you are, your background, but also make sure you throw some references in there, your email, your website, let them know that you're on social media, Facebook, all that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. So so it's not like a certain letter that you can go that it has to be a certain way. You just want to make sure that you're providing enough information for them to, one, be excited about you, and for two, to check you out online and get some references if need be. But that's just one form of communication. You definitely don't want to just send letters and not call or not, send emails or not do visits based on those calls. Calls is talking to someone and making that first voice contact is very important.
Okay.
Yeah. Are there any more questions?
Yes, sir. Hi, how are you?
All right,
ma'am.
That's a question. I don't know if it's, I just wanted to find out, since we're just starting, I don't know how how much you pay nurses to do initial assessment for clients in the state of Georgia. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you just have to figure out what's the going rate. Like different states is different. In Maryland, we'll pay $75 just for a visit.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you have to talk to the nurses and see what they'll take. Obviously you don't want to pay them more than what you have to, but then at the same time you want to make sure they're excited about going.
Okay. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Sir, I have 2 questions right quick. How do you feel about our type of facilities, adult care, partnering up with temp agencies for outside help with hiring CNAs, recruiting, staff?
Yeah, that's fine if that's what you want to do. But with the training that we're giving you, you should be able to do it on your own. But if you feel like you want to pay somebody to send you a CNA, that's fine. I mean, it's not a big deal. I mean, if you got a house, you're not going to need a lot of staff anyway. So you're only talking about 1 or 2 caregivers, or maybe 3, depending on how big your house is.
Okay.
Yeah. Any more questions?
One more question. My company is non-medical. So when we're non-medical, how do we go about sending the nurses in to do those evaluations?
You don't need it. You don't need a nurse.
I didn't think so.
You don't need a nurse.
So the administrator or the company manager will be the one who does that?
Yep. Okay. Now you can go do your consultation. You talking about the consultation, then like intake? You could do it.
Yeah, do like their intake, the evaluation, the 90-day visit.
So that's now you start saying stuff like that. Like that's policies that you have in your own company, but then there's like medical standard that you can have. Even in non-medical, I would suggest that you have a nurse on staff just to kind of overlook what's going on, because that just makes people more comfortable. That doesn't mean they have to do any administer any type of medical care, but they are there and they are aware of the patient's status, and they're keeping your company and your client abreast on what's going on with your client, and that's something that that makes the families feel more comfortable, even if you're non-medical companion care.
Okay, I have a question concerning being hired by a facility. If a facility is going to hire your company to staff their patient, how do you go about with that contract with the facility? Do you use what contract do you use then?
We have a specific contract for facilities that we use.
Mm-hmm.
So that's that. But usually the way it goes is that the facility, in our experience, the facility doesn't hire you per se for the client. They allow you. Mm-hmm. They choose you to be the go-to for the families who are in there. And we're only getting hired by bigger facilities. We're not getting hired by small assisted livings because, again, they don't have a big staffing issue. When we got our first big assisted living contract, they had over 120 residents. So they just put us as their first person that they're going to introduce to the family. Now, we still have to convince the family to go with us. Yeah. It wasn't like, okay, this is the company that, you have to go through. They have the choice to go to the company that you want. But the contract with the facility is basically just saying that, it's just stating that our position and their position. It's stating some of the things that we talk about in our contract is that, we'll do our best that we can if the caregivers can't show up. We'll do our best that we can to replace them. You're not going to, do anything. You're not going to violate us or, get any kind of financial benefit if they don't show up, stuff like that. So we just basically cover our own businesses with the contract. But and on their end, they're not obligated to use us for anything. It's just an agreement to make sure both parties are covered. And we do have that agreement. We actually sent it out on an email. If you don't have it, again, you can just shoot me an email and I'll send it to you, a copy of it.
Okay, I'll do that. Okay.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question, and I know it may be far off, and I didn't read it anywhere, but I was just thinking about the use of a nonprofit doing this, and maybe two separate things. I just wanted to know what your take was on that.
I get that often, actually. A lot of people want to come into this industry as a nonprofit, and that's great, but you just got to figure out who's going to pay for it. No matter what you do, whether it's business or nonprofit, you're going to have services that are going to have to be paid for. People are going to have to be compensated for their time. So either you're going to have to raise money, through different events and stuff like that, or you're going to have, direct donors who just are going to give you guys money to actually, help the community. And I mean, it's a lot of people out there who will do that, but you just have to position yourself to be one of those people that donors trust, and they're willing to say, okay, I'll give you, $10,000 for such and such amount of care to certain amount of seniors in this certain community. You know what I mean? So it could definitely work. And you can still make a living from owning a nonprofit. You just have to, obviously, if it's yours, you're going to be on the board and you get a salary.
Yeah. The other piece of the puzzle I was going to ask, without doing a nonprofit, so the money that's coming from is it coming from the state going to the people that's going into the facilities that you look after, that you care after?
So what did you ask? I'm sorry, I didn't really understand.
For the outside of just looking at a nonprofit, say it's not a nonprofit, you have it set up how you have it set up right now, and I'm wondering who pays? Is the state paying for these people to go to these facilities?
Oh, so you're talking about assisted living?
Yes.
No. Most of the clients that we target, my partner Angela, she gets a lot of Medicaid clients, so she's getting paid for Medicaid. Their Medicaid waiver is paying for her residents to live in her property. Me, I want to focus strictly on private pay, just like I do with home care. I want to deal with people who can afford to live in these properties out of pocket. and through long-term care insurance, which is another form of private pay, because they've paid into these insurance policies, long-term care, and now they're just, they're old enough to get the benefits back. Am I looking for state residents? No, I'm not. But you can, in most cases, people, do have some state assistance, like I said, Medicaid waiver. There's other VA benefits and stuff like that are available to a lot of seniors.
Got it.
Yeah. So it's 8:03. I don't want to take up too much of you guys' time this Friday evening. We can get in a couple more questions if you guys have.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Thank you. I'll send you an email.
All right, yeah, just send me an email for those documents that you guys requested. One lady asked about the assisted living contract, and someone else asked about the new client.
Yeah.
The new client package.
Yeah.
Send me an email and I'll send something over to you. All right?
Okay.
And then anybody else, you have any questions, anything, feel free to shoot me an email, send me a text message. Email and text, I don't send out, you guys have noticed I'm not sending out telling everybody to call me because it's just getting too overwhelming. Email me, I can respond a lot better and a lot more detail via email, even better than a phone call actually, because I got more time to think about it and I can pull different resources and links and stuff like that. Email is the number one best way to get some information from us. You can always, and if you have like a quick question, you might be walking into a meeting and you need some quick answers, you can always shoot me a text message and I can respond pretty quickly. Because just like everybody else, I'm always on my phone. So so you can always just shoot me a quick text message. I'll get it. It comes all the phone numbers, they come to my phone. So yeah. And then also go to the Facebook page. You can post questions there. Make sure you join the groups. The Facebook groups. There's always some great conversations going into. We got a new group. I mean, I just started a few years ago, and nobody never really engaged it. But now it just went from like 200 people to almost 1,000 in like the last 2 months. And it's just home care business owners on Facebook. That's just the name of home care business owners. And I'll just an invite and I'll let you right in. It's a public group. There's no secret, no VIP and all that. You can just go in the group. There's a lot of great home care owners. I mean, people in there bigger than me. And I ask them questions from time to time. People who own Bright Star franchises. So we have some great conversation going on in there as well. All right.
Okay.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. Hopefully we'll do one next week, and I can't promise you because I still have stuff going on. So the last couple of weeks I had the children for the summer, so we were in Disney World and all this stuff. So I've just been really struggling to get back to the calls, but now I'm trying to get back to them. So hopefully we can kind of stay consistent each Friday. But again, I'm always available via email and text. So all right.
Okay. All right. Hope you have some. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.